Hello everyone, I cordially welcome you all to another video from the React tutorial series, and in today's video we are going to learn what are pure components in React. So without any delay, let's get started. So before we start, let's recap what are components. So as we have already discussed, components are independent reusable pieces of user interface and can be considered as each piece in isolation. React components are like JavaScript functions which takes input via props and returns React element which represent the part of user interface. So if you have watched our previous videos, you already know what are components and their different types, you know what are props, and you know what are JSX. So without wasting more time here, I would like to proceed. And if you are not sure what are these concepts, I will put the links in the description. You can go and watch the previous videos out. Okay, now let's proceed. So we come to the main topic for today. What are pure components? As of now, when developing class components, we have used react.component class, from which we have inherited the properties and methods. But there is one more type of component class, which is react.pureComponent. So if you have watched our previous videos or any of our videos where we have used class components, you are already aware that any class which we define is extended from the React's component class. That is the parent class which we inherit in our child classes. Okay, but component class is not the only class which is provided by React. We have one more class known as pure component. Pure components are greatly beneficial to use when we work with React state or props. In case the value of state and props have been updated with the same value, pure components don't trigger re-rendering of component. Unlike generic component class, the pure component, by suppressing unnecessary rendering, ensures better performance of the component, which leads to proper rendering optimization for the entire React app. So what I mean here is, basically, you have worked with props and state. Suppose the parent component is passing some data to the child component. Now due to updation of state, if the parent component re-renders, it will also lead to re-rendering of child components as well. But this is not your case. If you want to optimize your React application, your child component should never re-render until and unless the props have changed. So how can you optimize that? Making your class component of the child class from react.component to react.pureComponent, you can basically handle this. Okay, and what happens basically when you replace the inheritance from React's component class to React's pure component class, React internally handles everything. It automatically checks if your props have been updated, and if required, then only it re-renders. So without any delay, let me show you an example. We are back again to our VS Code, and as you can see, I have created a folder named pure component. Inside it, we have a file which is index.tsx, which contains our class component homepage. Okay, so if you visit our documentation, you will see the exact same example over there. But here I have worked a step further and have explained you how does that optimization takes place by changing the component to pure component. Now let me first explain you how I have designed the code. Firstly, we have a parent component, that is app.tsx. From here, we are calling our child component homepage, passing the props, that is first name as John, last name as Doe. Okay. Hereafter, I have an input type text where whatever you will type, that will be set as the state of this text variable, and that only the same thing which we have typed will be displayed over here. Now what is my purpose of writing this extra code? My purpose is, you already know, useState returns you two things, the state variable and the method to update the state variable. And as I have already told, whenever you update this state variable, your component will re-render. So what will happen, whenever your app.tsx will re-render, it will also try to re-render this child component. But as we are using pure component over here, this will not happen. Okay. Now coming to the scope of the child component, we have named our child component as homepage, and it extends from the React's pure component class. Okay. And as you are already aware, firstly we define the type of props and then we define the type of state. So as we are not using any local state here, So we have just given a pair of curly braces. Now within the render method of this class component, we have destructured the first name and last name from the props, and simply we have shown them on the UI. Okay. I have commented out the console log statement because I would like to first show you what is the optimization, and then I will show you what will happen if this pure component is not there. So let's run our code. We will go to this terminal and click on new terminal. Thereafter we will write npm start. As you are already aware, npm start helps us to run our application. So let's wait for some time until our application starts. As you can see, our application has started. So we can see hello John Doe, whatever we have passed as props from the parent component to the child component, we can see. Now we come to the main topic. How does this pure component helps in optimization? So let's see. So if you are aware and if you have noticed what I have told, whenever you will type anything over here, on its change event, it will update the text variable with whatever you have typed. Okay. And whenever you will type anything and this variable will get updated, your parent component will re-render. Now whenever your parent component will re-render, it will also try to re-render the child component. But in our case, this child component will not re-render. The reason is we have made it a pure component and not a general component. So let me uncomment this console statement and see in the browser. So you can see twice it has been logged. Okay, ignore this for now. Now whenever you type anything, see no console.log messages are coming. The reason is, though your parent component is re-rendering n number of times, but due to the uses of pure component, as your props are not changing, your child component is not getting updated. I am again showing you the change. Whenever I am typing anything over here, you are not getting any new console log messages. Okay. Now what if I do a little mischief? I remove this pure word and make it a general class component. Now see what happens. Basically now whenever we will type anything, you will see the child component will re-render, and in turn you will get many console log messages. See. So now in this case our child component is a very simple one. But if your child component is very complex, which deals with a lot of data, this can cause optimization issues. So you have to be aware of it. Okay. Now let's go back to our presentation. Now coming to the scope of things, as we have already learned what are pure components and how they help us in optimization, let's discuss in brief its benefits. So the first benefit is state and props are shallow compared with the previous state and props data before calling this .force update, hence optimizing the re-rendering process. Basically what happens, the pure component compares the current props with the previous props, current state with the previous state. If they are different, then only this .force update is called. Otherwise it is not called, hence your component is not re-rendered, which leads to optimization. Takes care of should component update lifecycle method implicitly. As I have told, when you use pure component, you need not to be worried about if the component will update. So if you have watched one of our previous videos where we have discussed about different lifecycle methods, you know what I am talking about here. So should component update basically takes a decision whether the component should update or not by returning true or false. In this case, when you use pure component, you need not to use should component update. It is taken care of implicitly by React. The last but not the least, pure components are more performance efficient than their counterpart. And I guess I need not to explain this because as of now you are already clear why I have mentioned the third point. So this is all for this video. I hope you like this video. In case you like it, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We are going to bring more videos in the future. For any queries, doubts, suggestions or feedbacks, feel free to post them in the comment section. We are going to reply. So thank you for now. See you in the next video. Bye.